Hello, and welcome to some cozy and fun spring days in my life. I'm Kenslie, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm starting the day by doing a bit of catching up on my everyday tasks. I've had one of those weeks that was very full, and I feel that my home just kind of fell by the wayside, and I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. Next up is going to be cleaning our white couch. If you have a lighter colored couch, you know the struggle. And it has been far too long since I have washed this. I'm going to be using my trusty green machine. This thing is so nice for washing like couches, furniture. I want to try it like in our car too. But we have several different spots, so I'm curious if this can take them all out. It's always very gross yet satisfying to see the dirty water that comes out. But it is crazy how filthy our couches can get. Just like getting home from work or wherever and you're kind of dirty and you just plop right down. It is important to clean those too. It also did such a great job taking out the stains, which I'm super impressed. So anyways, I will link it down below because you can get it on Amazon. But yeah, obviously not sponsored or anything, but I love this thing. Keegan does not like bananas, so when I make them, we tend to always have a few left over that I need to use up somehow. And I just want to say, if you have old, over-ripened bananas, this recipe that I'm about to make is probably the best use of them. They're these banana streusel muffins, and when I tell you, they are to die for. They're so good. This has kind of been on my list to use up these bananas, but I was waiting till they got just a little bit more over-ripened. I'm not sure. They could probably be even more ripened, but I'm gonna use 3 of these, and then this other one I'll just stick in the freezer to add to smoothies. Pepper likes to hang out in the kitchen with me while I'm baking. Out, I only have 4 little muffin cups, so the rest of these I'm just going to brush on some melted butter and grease them. Story of my life, I feel like every time I go to bake, I'm always just slightly underprepared. You do what you gotta do. Came out looking so delicious. I really just want to dig in and eat one, but they still need to cool, and I really need to run out the door. We are going to head to my parents' house. They're out of town, so Keegan is going to mow their yard, and I'm gonna be picking some flowers for my mom from the flower garden, and I'll take you guys along with me. But we need to head out because it is 3:30 already. Okay, we are headed over. Would you like a banana muffin? Absolutely. I packed us some. We both only have one in hand. I have to hold the camera down. What?
Drive with your knees. I have 2 hands.
You're gonna get canceled in the comments.
I doubt it. I'll put it up.
They're so good. This recipe, like, it makes so much crumb topping. Be generous with it. There's a lot of crumb topping for a reason. I honestly feel like I could have even put more on this. The crumble, it's the cherry on top. Or the crumble on top. Okay, it might be a little loud with the lawnmower running back there, but this is our peony harvest this evening. They're so pretty. These are literally some of my favorite flowers. We got some burgundy ones and some coral colored ones. And as you can see, some of them are a little bit more closed. My mom told me that you know they're ready to harvest when you like push on them and they're a little bit squishy. So, in case you didn't know when you can harvest peonies, now you do. Next, I'm just gonna close up the flower stand here. And I just wanna say, if you're ever in Dayton, Ohio area, you should definitely check out the Consider the Lilies roadside stand. There's farm fresh bouquets in there that are so pretty and great quality. It's such a fun, cute little stop. So, you should stop by. Okay, it's been a minute since I've done some fresh milled wheat bread. I kind of got into the kick of making artesian sourdough loaves, and then I got my wisdom teeth removed and I couldn't eat anything, and I'm still like, I don't know if I'm ready for an artesian loaf. Those are kind of hard to eat, so I was like, I should make fresh milled wheat bread again because kind of craving some soft sandwich bread. If you've been watching me, I've mentioned it a couple of times. I've been learning how to make things with fresh milled wheat. I got a wheat grinder and it's been so fun. I feel like it's becoming a little bit more of a trend, and I think it's really cool because it's so good for you. It's packed with so many nutrients. It has protein, and when people say you can live on like bread and water alone, I feel like you actually could with the fresh milled wheat bread. I don't know, I'm not a nutritionalist, I'm not like a doctor, but this is like pretty good stuff. Anyways, that's kind of why I like to make it, and it tastes so good. I will link below the recipe that I use. I'm actually gonna do 2/3 of a recipe. This makes 3 loaves and I'm just doing 2 because for one, I only need 2 loaves. It's just the 2 of us. And I don't have just tons of wheat berries left. I'm not sure how much this is gonna make. It might make more than I think. Anyways, that being said, let's make some bread. This was all of the flour that those wheat berries made. I used up all of the rest. I'm gonna need about 6 cups for my recipe, so I think we should be good, and we might have a little bit left over that I can use in another recipe, but you do have to freeze the flour because it can go bad because it obviously doesn't have any preservatives in it. However, I do believe that if you freeze it, over time it's gonna lose like a lot of the vitamins and nutrients that it has. It's still gonna be really good, like tasting flour and good quality flour. You're just not gonna get like as much of all the good stuff that's in it. That's what I've understood and learned from this. Okay, before I get started on making the bread, I wanted to show you, I've gotten some questions about the mixer that I use for bread. This is a Bosch mixer, especially with fresh milled wheat, but with all breads, you need to obviously knead them. With fresh milled, you have to knead for like a longer period of time, but it has you knead it for like 10-15 minutes. And I found that it was very hard on my KitchenAid mixer, and the Bosch mixer is just a little bit more of like a higher powered one. I think if you get like the bakery or the bigger KitchenAid mixer, that one might be better. I just have like the smaller one. It's great for cookies and like smaller things, but when I'm making like breads, this is my go-to. I really, really like this mixer. Okay, so My loaves are now about ready to go in. One little trick that my sister told me that I've been enjoying doing is, like, these bake at 350, but initially setting your oven to like a really high temperature. I'm doing 500, sticking them in and then turning it down to 350, because it can kind of like shock your loaves, I guess, and give them a really good rise. Okay, the loaves are out of the oven and they're just resting. The house smells so good, but I am in the car because Keegan and I are about to head to the grocery to do our kind of weekly grocery run and get a few things for the dinners I'm making this week. I'll show you everything we get when we get home. And I also need to grab some topsoil because I'm hoping if I have enough time today that I can plant my zinnias. I'm just doing zinnias, I think, for cut flowers. I don't know, I might change my mind and do more, but I'm trying to start small with gardening this year. I'm doing, you know, several veggies and zinnias for flowers. Just kind of see how we do, because I am very new to this and I don't want to overdo it and then everything fails. So it's all just a learning curve, but I'm hoping that we'll get time to do that. The weather's been kind of weird today. It's been kind of dreary, but now it's super sunny. But then it was sprinkling while it was sunny. So I'm like, I'm not sure if it's gonna rain, so then I might not be able to plant. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, here comes Keegan. How's the muffin?
That's great.
Stopped and now it's sunny, but it's still like thundering a little bit. I don't know. Weather's being kind of weird, so we'll see what comes of it. Anyways, let me show you everything that I got. Do a little grocery haul. All right, first up I have some hamburger buns. I'm planning on making burgers later this week. I really wanted to make them homemade with my fresh milled wheat, but I did not get time, and that's okay. These will work great. I got some coconut water. I like to use this to make Adrenal cocktails and to make smoothies with it. It's super good for you. Has lots of electrolytes and minerals, so super hydrating. I have some orange juice that I'll use for Adrenal cocktails and oranges, some potatoes, like a little mix, some corn tortillas because I want to make some pork street tacos later this week, some taco sauce to go with them. This is something new that I'm trying. Ketchup, cream cheese, sour cream, ranch, cilantro for the tacos. I don't know. This is something Keegan got. I guess brake cleaner. And I decided to grab a new Scrub Daddy. I thought maybe we were due for a replacement. Some bacon. And this is the pork that I'm using for the tacos. I've never made these before, actually. So this is a pork shoulder. We will see how that goes. An avocado. I'm gonna make some guac to put on our hamburgers, and some English muffins. I'm hoping to make some breakfast sandwiches. So that is our little grocery haul. All right, I have stepped outside. It's actually getting really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and plant my zinnia seeds. I'll show you where I'm planting them. So I have these two metal planters. This one I'm going to do the zinnias in, and then this one I'm going to plant some herbs in later. I don't know if you can see the beds on either side. Maybe you can't. They need tilled, so they're nowhere near ready. To plant these, I'm going to lay down a layer of cardboard. And then I have these grasses that we cut last fall, and I'm just going to do like a layer of these. All right, and now I'm gonna go in with a layer of topsoil. Now I have my zinnia seeds. I have 4 different ones I'm gonna use. I have orange, a deep red, a salmon, and a white. So we want like a nice little array of colors. Okay, I went pretty random with it and just kind of sprinkled it on, so I'm curious to see how they're gonna come up. Now I'm just gonna cover them with a layer of potting soil. come to think of it, I'm not really sure how deep the seeds were supposed to be, so hopefully they're not in there too deep. Fingers crossed. And now we'll just water it. Adrenal cocktail, always one of the most refreshing drinks. So good. Okay, Keegan and I are about to head off to a graduation and we'll probably be gone the rest of the evening, so I decided to cut the video off here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me the past couple of days. This is such a fun time of year. I'm loving doing all the spring things, all the baking, even some gardening. It's so fun, and it's really like heating up out here. It's starting to feel like summer. I love it. Love this time of year. I don't know how many times you're gonna hear me say that. I will see you guys in my next video. If you enjoyed this, like it, subscribe if you're not already. I'd love to have you here on my little YouTube community. See you guys later.